Alright guys, welcome back to some more ReZero. Yes, it's that time of the week again. ReZero Wednesday. Whoop 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 whoop! Ha yeah boy! Time for some more ReZero. So without further ado, we're just going to be talking about the episode. So the episode begins, right, with Garfield and Mimi, you know, they're wandering around, right, and they come across, like, the corpses of, like, the guards, basically, because of, like, the witch cult, like, attacking them. So, you know, they're, like, wandering around, right, and then they see these two cultists. Now, you know, Garfield and Mimi, you know, try and fight the cultists, however they lose, because, you know, the cultists are, like, really, really, really strong, actually. And it's just like some crazy shit. So, the scene basically switches, like, completely, right, to Heinkel. Now, Heinkel is taking Felt hostage because, you know, Heinkel and Reinhard don't have, like, the best relationship. And he's basically keeping Felt hostage because he knows that would trap Reinhard, because he knows, you know, Reinhard would do anything for Felt. So Heinkel's basically being a piece of shit. So Reinhard is, like, out of the action now. And yeah, so, you know, the meeting that was in, like, last episode, they had fucking, you know, like, Al and Anastasia and who the fuck else was in it? It's like Anastasia, Al, Krush, Wilhelm. You know, they're talking about, like, the witch's remains, because that's why the witch cult are there. You know, due to the broadcast, because of Capella broadcasting, because she in particular wants the witch's remains. So, you know, they're all talking about it and saying how Capella's last name is, like, similar to the last name of the royal family. Well, it's really the exact same name as the royal family. So, you know, they're just, like, talking about that shit, and then Garfield and Mimi fucking burst in the room. Garfield is crying his eyes out, and then you have, like, a bloodied, you know, Mimi in his arms. He's just like, holy fuck. You know, because Mimi, you know, got, you know, like, attacked, her brothers could feel, like, the pain of, like, her attack, and it was really strong, so it really hurt them. So, you know, the scene switches, right, and, you know, we're in that bunker, like, type place, like, under the city or whatever, and, you know, they're trying to heal Mimi. Garfield is beating himself up about it, but he gets comforted by Ricardo, like the big furry dog guy. You know, he's comforting Ricardo, you know, he's offering his thanks, like, you know, Mimi got hurt, but, like, you brought her back to us, so we owe you. So, but Garfield's ready to fight, basically. He's bawling his eyes out, but my boy Garth, you know, he's ready to fight, which is fucking awesome, because Garfield's one of the goats. But then Kiritaka walks in, and Kiritaka basically explains that they can't move the witch's remains, because if they move the witch's remains, then the city would be completely destroyed. So they can't give Capella what she wants, basically. And obviously, you know, Capella being an archbishop is not going to take that lightly. So they come out, you know, they come up with a plan. So we have, like, Subaru, Garfield, Julius Wilhelm, Krush, and Aldebaran, I believe. I think I've mentioned everyone. But they all go out into the city, you know. Subaru's asking Krush and Al if they can fight. But just before they fight, you know, the cultist, Al basically takes his own route because he needs to go and find Priscilla or something. You know, Al says a lot of shady shit. Like, just keep that in mind. I'm not going to spoil anything, okay? But just keep in mind the stuff Al says, because it's very interesting. But anyways, they go and they fight, like, the two cultists that attacked Garfield and Mimi. They had, like, one cultist who's, like, really big, and they had, like a thin cultist, basically. So, you know, the big fat cultist has, like, 8 fucking arms, you know. Like, the arms, like, go through the witch cult robes. It's fucking wild. And, yeah, they have, like, a big fight. But then, a gigantic dragon appears. Now, the gigantic dragon is actually Capella. It's an Archbishop of Lust. Now, the dragon is basically just like spewing shit out, like Capella's ramblings. You know, Subaru starts to make fun of Capella, and you know, she has some really funny expressions. Like the dragon was done really good. You know, I fuck with the dragon. The dragon is fucking cool, even though it makes some silly like expressions. So Subaru was just buying time for Julius to fucking, you know, cast like a big rainbow spell, because remember, Julius is basically Pride, like Pride in the gay way, not the Pride, you know, St. Archbishop way. Like, he's all about the rainbows. Like, look at his fucking eyelashes, dude. Like, look at Julius's eyelashes. He's feminine, okay? Like, you anime onlys are not ready for the you guys are not ready for the Subaru x Julius sex scene. Like, God, that's gonna be so fucking hot. But it's not the time, okay? It's not the time. This episode doesn't happen in this episode, unfortunately. Just gonna have to wait and see for that shit. So yeah, Julius attacks Capella, but then the bell rings, you know, just like it did with Sirius and Regulus, meaning that the time is over. So Capella, she just flies away. So they separate basically the group. Subaru and Krush. Subaru grabs Krush, you know, in like a little princess carry thing, which is really cute. You know, Krush is actually so cute in like these newer things. It's because she lost her memories, so she became like a lot more cutesy compared to how she was in season 1. But yeah, it's really cute. So Subaru uses his whip, you know, they use like a spell shit and go onto like the top of the building. Now, guess who comes out of the fucking door at the top of the building, like on the roof? Motherfucking Gluttony, okay? And Subaru, just like I fucking said, okay, he is livid with Gluttony. Like, he sees Gluttony and he's seeing like flashes of Rem. Similar to how in previous, you know, episodes, and even this episode, Garfield saw visions of Elsa. Like, I can't remember if those Garfield visions of Elsa are in the novel, because I can't remember, you know, like everything from the novel, or like what's different in the novel compared to the anime. But yeah, Subaru saw visions of Ram. But Gluttony is, you know, he's just chilling on the rooftop. He's like, dude, have you got something against me? And you got Subaru just absolutely full of hatred. And then, you know, the Gluttony introduces himself. However, this is not the Gluttony that stole Rem's memories. The Gluttony that stole Rem's memories was Libal and Kados. But this is actually his younger brother, Roy Alphard. The most useless fucking character, but I'm not going to spoil it, okay? But Roy Alphard is like a fucking joke in the community, okay? He's a fucking joke. So yeah. And, you know, we have the God tier ending, okay? The God tier ending, Nox Lux. Oh god, that song is just perfection. That might actually be like my favourite ending song. Like, I love all of the ending songs in ReZero, but Nox Lux is just like on another fucking level. Love that shit. Myth and Void, the best, okay? Go listen to all of Myth and Void's music, because they do some of the best music ever, okay? Like, listen to them. Listen to the Eyes album and listen to all the other music they did, because it's banger after banger. With Nox Lux being absolutely one of the best. Now, the final scene of the episode, right, is Emilia waking up in some bed, you know, and turns out she's naked, and, you know, guess who walks through the door? Regu Cornias, okay, he comes through the door and he's like, Emilia, I have something very important to ask you. And then, I shit you not, this is what he asks Emilia. Are you a virgin? That's the only thing that matters, you see. It's just like, wow, that's how the episode ends. Fucking awesome. Okay, now, I'm not sure where I would rate this episode, you know. I think episode 1 was probably the weakest, but that's only because episode 1 didn't really have, like, the fights and shit in it. I mean, fights don't make up everything, but I think it doesn't really have like the hype moments compared to episodes 2, 3, and this episode. Not saying episode 1 was bad, because, you know, episode 1 was really good. But like, I'm just saying, if I had to pick like the worst episode, it'd probably be episode 1. Just because I think volume 17 is just a way better volume than volume 16. But, you know, I'm not holding it against Volume 16. You know, it's a good volume since it, you know, sets up. You know, if Volume 16, you know, wasn't the way it was, then this shit wouldn't be, like, as good, because it wouldn't be, like, that good fucking peak ReZero build-up. So yeah, this episode fucking slapped. You know, it was good like all the other ReZero episodes. Fucking peak. You know, I'm so excited for the next episode. It's gonna be so fucking good, okay? God, why is ReZero just like the best shit that has like ever existed in fucking history? I love you, Tappy Nagatsuki.